Hello everyone, a while ago I made a video showing some of the useful software for people who are interested in 3D printing, but I don't know why, but I forgot to mention Plater. This is actually one of the most useful pieces of software that I've used, especially when printing a lot of stuff. So for example, in this case, this is parts for a drag chain for the MPCNC project that I'm working on, and you can see that this is nicely organized on a plate here. So yeah, what Plater does is places all of the small STLs you want on a larger plate, so it's just one STL for the entire plate, and it does it in a way that's really efficient in terms of the space it takes. So you can see that a lot of the parts that protrude, they stick inside them, so it doesn't draw an artificial square around the parts like the platers on the slicers do. Instead, it tries to place the parts in the most efficient way possible. And yeah, with this, for example, if you have a multi-part print, like if you're printing a new 3D printer or a new machine or something, you normally have tons of plates to deal with. Well, this can reduce the amount of plates you have to use. You can download Plater on GitHub. I'll link this in the description below. Or I'll probably link the releases page actually. So you can download it from here. Again, the source code is also available, so if you want to check that, you can. Assuming you're using Windows, you need to download this one, not the tool one. That doesn't have the GUI or anything like that, so just download this zip file. And once you extract that, this is what you get. And here you can run Plater. So you can see that this is a pretty simple GUI. It's nothing really complicated. You add your parts here. Now there is a bug with this, and I'm going to demonstrate that by adding multiple parts at once. This happens to me, and I've seen this happen to other people as well, but I don't know if this happens to everyone or not, but yeah, you'll see. But before that, let's look at how you decide how many to import and what the orientation is, etc. So you can choose the orientation here, so you don't have to make sure the STLs are oriented correctly. You can adjust that here, and you set the quantity here. I'm going to set it to something ridiculous, who cares. And yeah, this is the bug. When you try to import multiple files at once, it sometimes crashes like this. So the solution around that is, unfortunately, you have to add files one by one. So yeah, you can do that. So 10 of this, and I don't know, 18 of this, 19 of this. You can see that it's not crashing if you add them one by one. So yeah, that's something you have to pay attention to. That's an unfortunate bug, but not much we can do about that. But after you add all of your parts, obviously the list is going to be longer. You can set the rest of the settings. Here you set your plate size. For example, on a 350 by 354 like mine, I recommend setting it slightly smaller than that, so I don't know, 330 by 330. You can change the output directory here if you wish. If you don't change it, it's going to output to the first file, whatever your first file is, it's going to output to the same directory. And you can also set a circular plate if you have a Delta printer or something like that. And you don't really have to mess with the advanced settings, but if you want to, you can. And once you have everything set up, you just run this, and it comes up with the most optimal layout and with the least amount of plates as possible. So you can see that the current solution it came up with consists of 3 plates. It's going to give me a preview in a second. So this is the first plate. Again, you can see that it's organized pretty efficiently. Next one, again, same idea. And the third plate, it has a lot of empty space. Well, that's because the previous 2 plates are full and it used the parts it needed to. So yeah, you don't really need to put anything in there, so that's why it's not maximized, but you can adjust that if you wish. You can go for a smaller plate or a more STL, you can add more STLs, etc. But yeah, you can see that it came up with a really optimal solution. Doing this type of thing on a slicer, on top of being ridiculously time consuming, because you have to either add one by one or copy and paste, and again also the fact that auto spacing on the slicer splitters creates an artificial box around the parts, so they don't really it doesn't really organize them in this way. It just doesn't take into account that, it just spaces them out, so you'd end up with a lot more plates than 3. So yeah, you can see that this is doing its job very efficiently. Plus it also takes much less time, especially with Cura. If you imported more than a few STLs, you'd know it lags like crazy, even if you disable the background slicing. And even with something like Super Slicer or Prusa Slicer, it's still not that quick, and also it doesn't really lay them out as efficiently as I said. So yeah, this is a really useful piece of software. I highly recommend it. So yeah, I thought I should make a video covering it. But well, yeah, that's it for this video. I'm going to be lazy and just open this picture so I don't have to edit this video. But yeah, I hope you found it useful. As I said, the software will be linked down below. So yeah, that's it for this video. Hope you found it useful. If you did, please leave me a like down below. And thanks for watching.